Hello, and welcome to a brand new day of free-to-play here on Magic the Gathering Arena. Get the dish on the latest with me, Lord Rumfish. So, I do have several new deck ideas in the works. It's a strange time to release new decks because a new set is quickly coming on the horizon. And some of them wouldn't be, greatly affected by the new cards. But just about all the deck ideas I have would probably poach at least a couple of cards from the new set. And yeah, I may do some deck techs anyway in the days leading up to March of the Machine. But I think it's also very important to fill out your collection and master different limited formats. In order to get better at limited, you just have to play a lot of limited. Every different format has a different feel, but the basic skills that you get in reading signals and all of that during a draft applies across the board. So with that being said, I would like to go ahead and do another quick draft of Neon Dynasty today. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. I just want to go ahead and get in here. Some quick thoughts on the concept of potential, which is, prioritizing cards that do a better job of winning the game by themselves or with minimal synergy compared to the other cards in the pack. What I have been finding is that potential is pretty great when you're ahead on the board or if you play first. When you're at a position of being behind, a lot of high potential cards are still pretty good blockers and things, but some of them are not. Some of them, are good at snowballing damage, but don't do quite as well if you're behind. Another problem with being behind on the board, removal interaction with the opponent is a way that you can sometimes play catch-up, especially if the removal is at a really low mana cost. It can kind of, maybe you can double spell, get something of the opponent's off the board, get a creature of yours onto the board. Maybe you can come back from behind and get back to parity again. So if you don't have a lot of interaction or no interaction in your deck, you don't have a very good catch-up mechanism. Sometimes there are creatures or permanents which have high potential and can double as removal spells or as, other ways that impact the board, or they're good when you're behind. And I think those would be very good if you go all in on the potential strategy. So, let's see what I get into here. Oh, that is a nice first pick here. Jugan defends the temple. This is kind of like the green Fable of the Mirror Breaker, right? Because the first chapter of Fable of the Mirror Breaker puts out a body that ramps your mana. The second chapter, Fable, lets you discard 2 and draw 2, which is card neutral, but it can get you advantages, especially in a Reanimator deck, something where you're getting value out of the graveyard. Then it's very good there. This one is a little different. On Chapter 2, you put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. So you may have at least one creature from the first chapter of this. If you have other creatures out, then you've got more options. And when this flips over, you get a 2/2 enchantment creature that can run away with the game, just like Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It does it in a different way. Remnant of the Rising Star is a 2/2 flyer. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield, doesn't say non-token or anything, under your control, you may pay X. When you do, you put X +1/+1 counters on that creature. This card is very strong. If the opponent does not respect the flip side of this card, all of your stuff can start coming in with tons of counters on it. Your little 2-drops can be big enough to trade with Choldred, that kind of thing. If the opponent is not apprised of how powerful the Dragon Spirit is, then it can get out of hand. And then it says if you control 5 or more modified creatures, then this gets +5/+5 and has trample. That's icing on the cake. Getting to 5 modified creatures is not really the point. You probably have won the game if you accomplish that, but still, it's additional upside that exists on the card. It could happen. So yeah, I think this card's really nice. Just a very strong overall card that just has a lot of built-in value. Let's see, Flame Discharge is a decent chunk of removal. If you have a modified creature, you don't have to pay as much mana into it. The Shrine is very, very strong. I like Jugan Defends the Temple better than this, but it's almost a little bit of a close call here. Goshentai is not the best on turn 2 because you can't pay the 1 mana to put a counter on it. So the Shrine, yeah, you can drop it on turn 2 just to be mana efficient, but usually I like to get the counter on it as often as I can. So this almost is vying with Jugan as a 3-drop for that reason. Don't get me wrong, this Shrine is super powerful. A Trampler that keeps getting bigger over the course of the game is a big deal. But we got this Mythic that looks pretty good up here. Bronze Cudgels is very forgettable. You know, if you put it on a Trampler, you know, or a Flyer or something like that, then it can push a whole lot of damage through when you have like 6 or more mana. So it can help you close out the game. It doesn't work as well on defense. It's very mana intensive. It's alright. Not the best. Katana's okay. I mean, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this pack. I mean, Harmonious Emergence is pretty strong too. Yeah, some of the strong cards here are green. Well, probably one of the AI is going to snap up this Shrine, but I gotta take Jugan. It's too good of a card. Okay. Well, I have a green enchantment here, and Jukai Naturalist is a strong card. I could try to do enchantments this time around. So, the Naturalist is not that much potential on its own, but if you have the synergies, right, of other enchantments in your deck, taking a turn off the clock by coming down sooner is a big deal. You know, anything that speeds up the clock is very nice for you. The lifelink makes it better at winning damage races, and if you have a ways to pump up the Naturalist, that math just gets even better. So yeah, Naturalist looks really strong here. Let's see. I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot else that's really pulling me strongly in another direction here. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Naturalist. We'll see how open green-white is. Okay, Machikos. Machikos just fell into our lap here. So if you are in this archetype of enchantments, then Machiko's Reign of Truth is definitely something you want to have in that deck. Now, green, we could also go into Invigorating Hot Spring. Your modified creatures have haste, and this can modify your creatures once a turn at sorcery speed. You just pull a +1 counter off of this and put it on something. Gives it haste. I call it Monkey Tub because of the art. Monkey Tub's a really nice card, but for the cards we've picked so far, I mean, I don't think you can skip Machikos. Anything else interesting here? Thundersteel Colossus is neat. There's the blue uncommon that goes really late in the draft pool that can pull a piece of equipment or a vehicle out of your deck by sacrificing an artifact or creature, I think it is. And that can help you go fetch up and cast for free a Thundersteel Colossus. And if you pick up several of these, you can make that deck. And that blue card will come to you late, like, you know, 13th, 14th pick, whatever. But yeah, here we're taking the Reign of Truth. It flips into a creature, right? So all of these things actually have their own potential built in. They also have a lot of synergy. Let's see. Seismic Wave's okay. Guidebot's okay. Subduer's alright. This isn't really a Samurai Warrior deck. Right, we got a Spirit, a Monk, Human Noble. Yeah. A Sunblade Samurai has, early you can, basic plane cycle it, sort of, and gain 2 life. It's also just a big enchantment creature, which, we can cast for 1 less mana if the Naturalist is around. So I like it just for that reason. I guess we could also think about, like, Blossoming Sands here. I think I'll take the Samurai for now. Kind of a later game play. Could be a turn 4 play, though, with the Naturalist. Jugan puts out a mana creature. That could also make it a turn 4 play. Let's see, we've got some off-color uncommons up here. Moonvault Puzzlemaker is a great blocker in this format. Also good for artifact synergies. And not terrible for ninjas. Let's see. I mean, staying on color, the only thing here really is Commune with Spirits. Which all of these so far are enchantments. That's already making it much less likely to whiff. Right? You could find a land, but you've got 4 enchantments for this card already. The other thing I could do would be to speculate on some other card. To maybe see if there's another color that's open. Black is really deep in this pack. Blue also looks pretty open here. There's a couple of red cards. The Kami might not be too terrible in our deck. We could pick up some artifacts and maybe it would do its thing once in a while. Mobilizer Mech is alright. It's clearly much better if you have other vehicles. I mean, none of these cards really excite me that much. I think I'm going to take the synergy play here and Commune with Spirits. Okay. So let's see, is there anything that feels like it would be a decent payoff for going into another color here? Awakened Awareness is not that powerful. That's double blue. So this can ETB bounce a creature. You don't have to ninjutsu it. But if you're paying 4 for it, it's okay, but it's kind of so-so. Make a tempo play. Decent chunk of equipment. Artifacts at least boost up the Machiko's Reign of Truth. Could look at red here. Shattered States era could be something that we find with Commune with Spirits. I don't love this spell, but it's a decent chunk of value, at least. If we were going to go 3 colors, I would at least like to be able to find a powerful spell if I need to, other than a land. This would do it. Dramatis Puppet works with counters. Could remove the counters of our opponent's things. So far we only have, like, Jugan that does counters for us. I think I take the Shattered States era here. I mean, blue looks somewhat open, so I could take, the land. But I think I'm gonna take this. Red also looks pretty open. Okay. Grafted Growth. So this makes a land tapped for 2 mana of any one color. When it ETBs, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature or vehicle. It's an enchantment. That would work with the enchantment theme of like the Jukai Naturalist. Notably with the Naturalist, right, if we have 3 mana on turn 3, we could tap 2 of it, put this on a land, maybe make another 2-drop. Which could even be something like Jugan Defends the Temple. That would be a very strong opening. Kumano Faces Kakazan is a powerful card. It's strange to see it going this late. It's a pretty big sign that red is looking somewhat open. It would go with the enchantment theme, but the card's okay later in the game. It's better early, obviously. Yeah, I think I go with the Grafted Growth here. Okay. Yeah, if I had taken Kumano Faces Kakazan, I could have done a hard pivot into red, and I would have gotten paid off for a hard pivot here. Some nice red cards. But Harmonious Emergence is actually a very strong card. It'd be especially nice to make its mana 1 cheaper. So you need to put it on a land that's untapped if you want to attack with it. If the Emergence only costs 3 mana from the Naturalist, then this would be like a turn 4 attack with a Vigilant Haste 4/5. That would be a very strong play. And then, if the enchanted land would be destroyed, the land gains indestructible, but you sacrifice the enchantment. So you don't lose your land. Yeah, I like this alright. Another Harmonious Emergence. I haven't played much with this card, but I do think it looks powerful, so I'm gonna try it. Okay. Not a lot of options here. It looks like black's pretty open too. I mean, if I've already got 1 red enchantment splash, I can go a little deeper, I suppose. These other cards don't excite me that much. Okay, this is interesting. So Thundersteel Colossus is it's a pretty good card. Or it would be coming down very late in this deck. I don't have a special way to trick it into play. Timio's Safekeeping is it's a pretty nice trick. I don't love combat tricks, but this is a strong one. Don't love Aki Ronin. He's a decent blocker. Planar Incision's okay. It's not a very strong pull into blue. Between the Colossus and the Safekeeping here, I think I'm going to take the Safekeeping. Light the Way can put a counter on something and untap it. Can also bounce a permanent of mine back to my hand. This is for an artifact deck. Network Terminal's not bad. Pretty reasonable card. Light the Way could be interesting. There are enchantments that we could reset for value. You know, we could reset the Shattered States era, we could reset Jugan Defends the Temple, could reset Machiko's Reign of Truth. Because yeah, it's just a permanent. Okay, I think I'm gonna try Light the Way here. I don't love little you know, fiddly cards like this that are kind of one-off effects, but I'm gonna give it a shot here. Okay, we got a artifact, discard spell. Take the Moonsnare prototype there. And let's see. Kami of Industry works with artifacts. I guess we'll take the Aki War Paint, put it in the sideboard. Okay, Dramatist Puppet. Probably get cut later. Oof. Oof. Oh, there's some choices here. Goodness. Okay, March of Otherworldly Light. This is really good removal. But Machiko's Reign of Truth. I mean, for the deck that we're drafting here, I think Machiko's Reign of Truth is the stronger card, actually, than the March. Spirited Companion would also be very good here. Bamboo Grove Archer would be a nice pick as well. But yeah, this is Machiko's Reign of Truth. Soul Transfer is nice removal. Haven't taken any black cards yet up to this point. Kimono faces Caucason. Okay, the Fox. Lifelinking Fox. Be pretty decent with the enchantment sub-theme. Don't want too many copies of effects like that. Favor of Jukai. Can channel it to be a combat trick, or you can cast it to give something +3/+3 in reach. I mean, in this deck, I'd probably want to cast it. And I don't love creature auras. Removal spells, 2-for-1 from the opponent. I have a hard time taking auras for that reason. Jukai Trainee will just be... It's kind of like it's got Bushido 1, right? And it would be a reasonable 2-drop. We've got some 2-drops already. More would be fine. But yeah, I think the Golden Tail Disciple looks like it's got the most synergy with what our deck is doing. I think it's the take here. Scrap Welder. Sack an artifact with mana value X. Return target artifact with mana value less than X from the graveyard to the battlefield. Gains haste. I've yet to see someone do something with this card. But I have actually had an idea in the back of my head to build around this guy. However, doesn't go with this draft deck at all, really. It would just be a 3/3 for 3. Which, not the worst, but we've got enchantments we could be looking at. Roaring Earth. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you play it, and it has landfall, where all of your lands that come in put counters on your creatures and vehicles. Now, if you top deck it really late, you can channel it for green, and X, and put X counters on a land. It becomes like a 0/0 green spirit with haste. So, again, if you don't want to tap that land, make sure that you leave 1 mana left over. So you don't tap that land for part of the X. So it can get in and attack that turn. Oof, Roaring Earth, man, this is a strong card. Bearer of Memory's not bad. Greater Tanuki's not bad either. Helps accelerate your mana. It's just a big, strong late-game play. Land would also be fine, but yeah, Roaring Earth, man, whew. Some power. Let's see, Story Weave can put 2 counters on a creature. It's an instant. Or it can put 2 lore counters on a Saga. And if the Saga flips over, which I guess it would, right? It would come in with a counter, and Story Weave would just flip it. And then the Saga creature would come in with 2 counters on it. The Sagas I have right now are Shattered States Era, 2 copies. A Jugan Defends the Temple. It'd be nice to get a 4/4 flyer out of Story Weave. And I've got 2 Machiko's Reign of Truth, which, going straight to Chapter 2 and 3 on this could be a heck of a boost on the board. Huh. Okay, so I have... If I play red, then I've got 5 sagas at the moment. And the fail state on the card is that it puts 2 counters on a creature at instant speed. Huh. I'm going to think about it. Okay, I've got this Enchantment Samurai. Yeah, more 2-drops would be fine. Doesn't really synergize with the deck, but... Sunblade Samurai. Already got one. Already got some 5-drop stuff. I mean, he'd be okay. Ooh, Bamboo Grove Archer is nice. That's very nice. Okay. See, I think this is between the Bamboo Grove Archer and the Story Weave. I have a feeling the Story Weave could come around late. I might be wrong about that. I mean, we're already at pick 4. I don't know if it would come around that late. But, I'm interested in Story Weave. It's curious to me. I'm not quite ready to pick it yet, though. I know Bamboo Grove Archer is a very strong blocker in this format. And you can blow up a creature with flying late game as a top deck. And it's an enchantment, so it synergizes with the deck. Okay. What does this one do again? It's a 4-mana instant. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+2. If you have an artifact and an enchantment, they gain lifelink. Okay. So it gives out +4/+4 across 2 creatures. Don't really have artifacts at the moment. Eh. Meh. Let's see. Guidebot's okay. Mothrider Patrol. I mean, it's alright. It doesn't really synergize with the deck exactly. Kami. So I think I'm going to go where the power is in this case and take the Thundersteel Colossus. I don't see a lot of synergy for the deck in this particular pack, so I'm just going to go to the top rope here. Okay, Reality Heist only works with artifacts. Okay, he's a 2/2. Whenever a vehicle you control attacks, you can either gain first strike or untap this guy. I mean, a 2/2 for 2's also fine. Might take him just as a curve filler. Light the Way. I might play the 1. I don't think I would play 2. Crackling Emergence. Red and 1. Enchant land. 3/3 red spirit with haste. Kind of costs 3 if you want to attack with it that turn, because you need an untapped land to put it on. If the land would be destroyed, you sack the enchantment and the land is indestructible. Okay. Another kind of random 2-drop here. Does have ninjutsu. Right, so the ace would only work with like the Thundersteel Colossus, and I don't know for sure that this is making the deck. Coiling Stalker feels kind of random, but maybe we could ninjutsu it in, and it would do a thing. Heir of the Ancient Fang. Cares about modified creatures. Well, Roaring Earth modifies things. Grafted Growth modifies, Gigan modifies. And actually, these Harmonious Emergences would be modified creatures. They would. Yeah, I think the choice here is actually between, like the Emergence, the Coiling Stalker, and the Heir of the Ancient Fang. Still not for sure that red's making it into the deck. I think I'm going to take the air here. There's actually quite a bit of modified stuff going on. Light the Way can put a counter on something too. Alright, Anchor to Reality. This is the card that can fetch the Thundersteel Colossus. Anchor to Reality goes around really late. Most decks don't have a good use for it. So I feel no strong urge to pick this card up early. If we end up with a bunch of Thundersteel Colossuses and some blue cards, then we could pick these up late and start making that deck. Azusa's Many Journeys is great. Get a land drop, gain 3 life, get a 3/3. It's an enchantment on both sides. The creature might even get blocked and untap 3 lands. This is constructed playable. If you want to make a green ramp deck, this is one of the key pieces to do it. It's got good synergy for the deck we're building here. And it looks like the take out of this pack. This Ogre Ninja is very strong. It's very good if you can get it in for 4. But I'm going to take the Journeys here. Choose a creature type? Probably not. Right? Probably not. Not a monk deck, are we? Don't think so. Nah. Nah. Okay. There's another safekeeping. I really don't know that I would... I don't like to run a lot of things that don't have potential to win the game on their own. These are little helper piece cards, and I've already got about my fill of them for building a deck. Steelbreaker would be fine. Not good, but fine. We don't really have artifacts to sacrifice to it. It would just be a chunk of body. Caves could let us open up black as a color. Terminal's probably pretty good here. And I do like Ecologist Terrarium. Ecologist Terrarium can modify things. Yeah, I think I like the Terrarium here. Network Terminal does its best work if you have another artifact in play, so you can do the draw discard. But Terrarium's just pretty good. Make it easier to hit the red sources for Shattered States. Okay. Wow. There's some good options here. Geothermal Kami would be very good for this deck. There's a lot of neat enchantments that we could pick up off the board and cast them again. Machiko's Reign of Truth would be a very deadly one to bounce back with the Kami. You gain 3 life when you do it. And this is a 4/3 also. So, pretty solid. Spirited Companion is just pretty great. Sees play in Standard. Gets us deeper into the deck. There's another enchantment. Bamboo Grove Archer is also stellar here. So these are 3 great picks for the deck. They're coming really late. Let's see. I think for this format, ninjas are a thing. It's good to have some real viable early blockers in the game. I'm not for sure what is the correct pick here, but I'm going to take the Bamboo Grove Archers. I feel like the late game is going to be pretty strong on this deck, and I'd like to get there. Okay. I don't think I would splash for Chainflail Centipede. It's not bad, but it's not that great. I think I take Favor of Jukai. It might not make it in. Okay, Bearer of Memory. This is great. 3/2 enchantment creature, and in the late game, pay 6, put a +1 counter on an enchantment creature, gains trample. Normally this is good enough just for itself. But this deck's full of enchantment creatures. This is a great thing to add. Okay. Yeah, I don't love double Tamiyo's safekeeping. Crackling Emergence would at least be another early threat. I'm going to take the Emergence here. Fury has about 0 chance of coming in. Aki Warpaint has slightly higher than 0. Planar Incision's interesting. If we went into blue, this would be another way to reset like our sagas that had flipped into creatures. And it would come back as a saga. The +1 counter wouldn't matter, but just re-triggering the saga again with a blink effect is pretty cool. I'm probably going to just stick it in the sideboard for now. Okay, Spell Pierce. Planar Incision. Hinata, Dawn-Crowned. 4/4, Flying Trampler. It is not an enchantment. Spells you cast cost 1 less for each target. Spells your opponents cast cost 1 more for each target. So the splash is a little weird here. We do have some red cards, and white is a core color. So this would be like white into the splash red, and it would add splash blue. Well, we'll see what else we got. Ooh, Generous Visitor. Generous Visitor. Man, that's the take here. I mean, for this deck, for what we're trying to do, green-white enchantments, man, Generous Visitor, let's go. Okay. What do we got here? Windscarred Crag isn't too bad. Harmonious Emergence, this would be the third one. We don't have a terrible looking curve at the moment. I could maybe shoehorn in another 4 or 5 drop, but Shrine Steward can find auras. We do have a couple of those. We don't have any shrines. Smelter would just be kind of... I have almost no artifacts. Smelter would pretty much just be a 2/2 for 2, which red is not a sure thing at this point. Grafted Growth would be fine. Okay, there are 9 creatures. I want to count how many things might be creatures that aren't creatures. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. 5.5. 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. Okay, I've got potentially 10 things right now that are creatures that don't look like creatures here. If I ran all of those, that would be 19 creatures. Some of that's probably going to get cut. But that's plenty of creatures. I just wanted to make sure first. I think I'm going to take the Grafted Growth. Another Jukai Naturalist. Let's see, there's a Harmonious Emergence, there's a Jukai Preserver, which this would be fine in the deck too. Tales of Master Seshiro, this is very powerful. But yeah, I think I'd take another Naturalist here. Keep the curve strong, and lower the mana cost of all the other enchantments. March of Reckless Joy is not a bad card. You can play up to 2 of those cards until the end of your next turn, so you want X to be at least 2 when you do this. You can go deeper into the deck to get more card selection. Be a little cautious, mindful in Limited that you have a 40-card deck and not a 60-card deck. But still, March of Reckless Joy is a fine card. It would be okay, you know, late in the game. So, decent as a splash. Hot Spring... I mean, I think I can do the red splash here, and Hot Spring is an enchantment. It makes things modified. Goes very well with the themes of the deck. There's another Grafted Growth. I think I take the Hot Spring here. I think I can wedge a little bit of red in here. Mech Hanger, not the deck for it, and frankly, usually it's not the deck for it. It seems like that deck doesn't draft up very often, or very easily. Tamio's Completion is strong, but we're not in blue. Modern Age would also be pretty good if we were in blue. Aki Ember Keeper. Non-token modified creature dies, get a spirit. Actually, this is a reasonable 2-drop for the deck, I think. We've got a lot of modified things. It's an enchantment. Sure. Yeah, I don't see anything else that's really calling out to me. Okay, Gift of Wrath. This big aura leaves behind a 2/2 Menace Spirit when the enchantment leaves the battlefield. Oh, Geothermal Kami. Okay, I'm happy to pick up a Geothermal Kami here. I think it plays very nicely into this deck. Okay, got a random 2-drop enchantment critter. Oh, Heir of the Ancient Fang. I think this is actually going to be pretty good in this deck. Wanderer's Intervention. 4 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. Man, I want to hit the ground running. I want this curve to be good. I think Heir of the Ancient Fang is going to be good in this deck. Season of Renewal. Can return a creature from your graveyard to hand, can return an enchantment from graveyard to hand. That sounds like it's for this deck. Okay, another lifelinker. Yeah, I think that's the take here. Probably got enough playables at this point. Probably well into enough playables. Random 2/2. Probably going to get cut. Yeah. Harmonious Emergence? That one might actually make it in. Okay, Hotshot Mechanic is a pretty decent 1-drop, which is not usually the case in Limited. Usually you have trouble finding good 1-drops. Don't really have a vehicle deck per se. Grafted Growth fits in more with the theme of the deck. I think I take the Grafted Growth here. Doesn't matter much to me which one of these I take here. I'll take the Suit Up because I have fewer of them. Gift of Wrath will probably get cut. Swamp. Okay, so let's trim this down to some of the strongest enchantment theme cards. I guess the first question is, do I feel like I need the red? The red is pretty strong, but you make your deck much weaker in terms of mana base and consistency when you go into 3 colors. Let me see what it looks like with no red cards. Okay, we're still looking at 47 cards with 17 lands here. Yeah, that sounds... I don't think the red's going to make it in at this point. Let's see, Favor of Jukai. I think I can cut that. Kind of like these other drops up at 4 and 5. Double Naturalist should mean that we can get to these upper drops pretty easily. Might not need the Ecologist Terrarium here if I'm not going to be 3 colors. As long as I hit green, the Grafted Growth is going to fix the mana. And Commune with Spirits can maybe do it too. Kitsune Ace feels like a very filler card here. Maybe Heir of the Ancient Fang can go. I feel like we could trigger it. But it's not an enchantment, and double Jukai Naturalist has me thinking I can really hone in on the enchantment theme here. Alright, 2 more cuts. The mana curve looks pretty good. Could maybe drop a 3-drop. Let's see, I think Light the Way is not as strong as the Tamiyo's Safekeeping. I think I like these other ones here. Still need to drop something. Maybe a Harmonious Emergence? I think the Samurai plays nicely with the Season of Renewal. He's both an enchantment and a creature. Gives the card something to return back to hand. I could also drop a Grafted Growth. 3 might be too many. Actually, I kind of like, I like these, right? Shaving the mana off of them could drop it down tapped on turn 3 using the Naturalist. I'm going to drop a Grafted Growth. Okay. Yeah, that's the deck. 8 plains, 9 forests. Looks about right. The 2 Grafted Growths and the Commune can help smooth out the draws a little bit. Roaring Earth is nice with land drops, so I think 17's pretty good here. Sunblade Samurai can help find a plains. Yeah, I like this. Okay, up against Space Windu. That's a pretty cool name. Down at Copper. Go first. Keep that hand. A little bit mana heavy. Okay, Bamboo Grove Archer. Visitor gets a counter. Get in for 2. Double red from the opponent so far. Holding their mana open, so I think I'm going to lead on Jigan Defends the Temple. And I'm going to put a counter on the Archer. I mean, I might be playing around nothing here, but there are 2 mana instant speed removal spells in red that deal 3 to something. Brute Suit. Oh, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. I'm going to go ahead and grow this visitor up to 4. And come in. Okay, whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, cast an artifact from your graveyard this turn. Use a 3/3 trampler. Alright, so the Brute Suit is Vigilant. I have no intention of trading with it right now. You can't crew it at the moment. Okay. So, Jugan, the Remnant of the Rising Star, is very good if a creature enters the battlefield. I can't do that at the moment, but I can play this Grafted Growth. I can grow the Visitor further. I can grow the Bearer of Memory. And I'm going to come in. And they're dead. Up against Trimmins. Silver. Okay, looks keepable. Commune might find a Plains. Roaring Earth is pretty solid. So yeah, take a Plains. I mean, it's sad to see those other cards go to the bottom, but Plains is what's needed, so. Iron Apprentice. Okay. So, I got some options here. I think I like Roaring Earth, Naturalist, Archer next turn. Putting a counter on the Naturalist with the land drop. Okay. No synergy happening that I can see yet from the opponent, but give it time. Might still happen. Okay, play the Naturalist. Play a Forest. Counter on the Naturalist. Play a Bamboo Grove Archer. If the Naturalist lives, I can play the Samurai. Hey, they're channeling one of the very same Samurai for a land. Are they coming in with the Exemplar? No. Alright. Oh, safekeeping? I could put a counter on something. I guess it's going to be the Naturalist here. I can give him a Tamiyo's safekeeping, so there's no reason I can't attack. Looks like a chump and putting the counter on the Exemplar. Which is fine. Sunblade Samurai. Just 4/4 Vigilance. Straight up. The opponent has been struggling with land a little bit, it seems like. Here's the Synthesizer. No, I don't think they're going to be able to cast this Warpaint. I think they were hoping for a land there. Man. Ooh, Machiko's Reign of Truth. Well, sometimes them's the breaks. Opponent, sometimes them's the breaks. Yeah. That's all she wrote. I mean, I like being mana efficient, don't get me wrong. But, the Reign of Truth plus the safekeeping, that felt like a very strong line that turn. The Kami can pick up this Reign of Truth later. Which is kind of amazing. Okay, there's another Warpaint. Right, they exiled one already? And here's a Selfless Samurai. Interesting. So they can sack the Samurai to protect another creature, give it indestructible. Now, I mean, I could do a defensive block play here. They're tapped out already. Where I block with the Samurai, and then I Tamiyo's safekeeping. Oh, I guess I will. The Selfless Samurai is giving it lifelink. That would let them damage race with me a little bit too effectively. So I think I am actually going to kill it here. Yeah, they're going to do the sacrifice, and I'm going to do the safekeeping. So they're going to bounce. Opponent's going to go up to 15 here. Put it on the lifelinker. Play a forest. Put it on... I'm going to spread the love a little bit here. Oh no, I missed lethal! I missed lethal. I am a dummy. I'm going to hold this for next turn. Yeah, the play there was to play the Kami, pick up the enchantment, put another boost down, and just kill him.
The energy
that
of
was the
battle,
play.
Then
Man.
like water.
Oh well. So they played the Wandering Emperor, which is, you know, a great card. They can exile my Naturalist and gain 2. I'll put him up to 3. Man,
My
missed
judgment
lethal.
is final.
Feel silly about it. Oh, but they're attacking, so they're just throwing away their life. So it doesn't really matter. Yep. Up against hot money. Silver versus silver. That's a keeper. I mean, Roaring Earth, turn 2, looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna probably find another land. Might hit a land anyway. Okay. Find me a forest. Thank you. Counter. Play a Bamboo Grove Archer. Counter. Swing for 4. Roaring Earth is a ridiculously powerful card. Black should have an answer. They should have removal, most likely, for the Generous Visitor. But if they've got a slow start here, then they could be in trouble. Alright, Visitor to the Moon, I suppose? I think I'd like to get down this Bearer of Memory. Start building up another threat here. Come in for 6. Alright, they're down to 8. Black, black, blue, blue. 5 cards in hand. Potentially an extra mana off of the Artificer. Is he worded like Power Stones? Activate an ability or cast an artifact spell. Yeah, he's kind of just like a Power Stone. Alright. So, let's start building up the Bearer here. Yep, counters on the Bearer. Okay, Inkrise Infiltrator could be 3 power. They've got 4 power showing. Okay, Cyber Trespassers. Tap down a couple of things, come in for 6. They take a chump block, so they don't go to 2. I'm surprised they didn't tap down the Bearer of Memory. Bamboo Grove Archer is just a blocker. It is going to buy them time. I think Cyber Trespassers is a fine card. If you have artifact synergies in your deck, then it works just fine front or back. Okay, this is a Desperation Reckoner's Bargain. They did not even attack first. Okay, Circuit Mender. They're not dead yet. Counter on the bearer, activate the bearer, targeting the bearer, attack for 8 with trample. Yep. They go to 7, they draw a card. Scoop it up. Alright, Alice Upside Down. Alice in Wonderland reference, probably references to other things too. Lots of modern shows and books and things have referenced Alice in Wonderland. Let's see, do I keep this hand? I don't think I can send this away. Machikos can flip into a creature. You know, it's not ideal, but, play planes. Oh, please don't flood me out here. Ooh, Shintai have lost wisdom. Are they gonna try to mill me? Is that what they're up to here? Trying to mill? I'm gonna get the Machikos cooking. Here. Pump up your Go Shintai. They've got 3 colors here. They are tapping to do the mill one, and they are targeting me, which got rid of a land. Thank you. Let's see, I don't have anything to put a counter on with the Roaring Earth yet. But next turn I'm going to have Machikos, so I'm going to go ahead and cast this here. Having the extra enchantment in play will make the creature bigger. Network Terminal taps for any mana. They could be more than 3 colors. Still going for milling me? Yes, they are. It was a season of renewal. So, creature comes out. Play a plains. Get a counter on it. Let's see. I could Harmonious Emergence, which I would love to be able to attack the same turn I play the Harmonious Emergence. So instead, I think I'm going to do it this way. So, Portrait of Machiko is big. I'll just let their Fang of Shigeki through if they attack. Hey, they're doing the Harmonious Emergence. That's interesting. They tap it down. Okay, they've got the Fang of Shigeki. I've got Camio's Safekeeping. Alright, so you can tap for double green. I'll tap you and you. You can go on this forest. And we're coming in. Yep. These lands don't look as bad with the Roaring Earth on the battlefield. We're not out of this yet, though. Okay, they're getting back their Death Toucher. Playing it out. They're still tapping down their forest, trying to mill. Okay. So... right. Green, green. White, green... Harmonious Emergence on this forest. Play a plains. A counter on this forest. And just come in. They're going to block with the Fang. I can't sit back forever just because they have a Death Toucher. Oh, they jump with their Shrine, too. That's interesting. Okay, they are more than 3 colors. Okay, they had another Shrine, they're legendary. It makes sense why they chump blocked with it. Man, they're just going after this mill strategy thing. But at this point, it doesn't really matter whether they get me to a land or a spell. It's all just kind of lethal here. Go to 2. Yeah, I've outsized their forest. They need another blocker. There it is. Okay, they got another blocker. They're gonna have to chump away, though. They choose not to tap their forest this time. I play a Commune with Spirits. Alright. Bamboo Grove Archer could kill their flyer. Yeah, they scoop it up. Alright, up against Hurry. No, but it's not spelled with a U. How can I pronounce this? Anyway, this hand looks okay. Her-Rye. Yeah. Her-Rye. I guess that is my opponent. Okay, it looks like they might actually play Magic here. They got Plains, Mountain, Mountain, they got a Selfless Samurai, now they've played a Peerless Samurai. Whenever a Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, the next spell costs 1 less to cast. It has Menace. I think they're actually trying to play the Samurai Warrior deck. Alright. Well, I think I go ahead and play another Archer here. I can block their Menace creature. I could get down this Harmonious Emergence tapped, but I've got the land already for next turn, and I'd like to keep the safekeeping up since I happen to have it. Okay, they got an Ancestral Katana. An equipped creature could get +2/+1. Alright, they don't attack. So, here's another forest. Tap the plains, forests, play the emergence, targeting this forest. It gains vigilance, so there's no reason I can't swing in with it here. Down to 16. Alright, 2 plains, 2 mountains. Opponents on the Samurai deck. They play Gift of Wrath. Your Peerless Samurai already had Menace. This makes it bigger, though. Alright. So, play a Plains. Yeah, I still would have a mana for the safekeeping because of the forest itself. So, I'll play Jugan Defends the Temple. And then I'll play Machiko's Reign of Truth. Give a boost to the forest. Attack for 9. They take it. Go to 7. Alright, they hit 5 mana. They haven't really been able to attack me so far this game. And they decline to do so again, keeping all of their mana open. Okay, so I'm going to give the big pump to the monk token, I think. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would make him a 6/6, he'll be a 7/7 with the counters. And I'm going to put a counter on each of these. The forest is big enough to get through the samurai now. And I go ahead and attack. Okay, creatures you control get +2/+0. He or her Rai gets to draw a card. They do have a modified creature with an aura. Doesn't make their creature's toughness any better, though. They can sack away the samurai in this case. Okay, they're actually going to make their Peerless Samurai a point bigger here. Okay. Safekeeping on my forest. End the turn. Okay, Blade Blizzard Kitsune has double strike. Okay, I get to choose the order of these. Yeah, I want the dragon on the battlefield first, because I think it would see the other one entering, so I should play the land last turn. Pay X. Let's see, I got 5, 6, 7 mana available. Take action. Play a land. Say go. Okay, play a Peerless Samurai. And say go. Alright, play a forest. Play this Generous Visitor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And swing with a 12/12. And the Remnant. They don't have any flying blockers. That's fine. See, if they can kill the Remnant, it's kind of already done its damage at this point. Alright, yeah, I think I just come in with Forest Remnant Visitor. Okay, they got an Ambitious Assault again. Now trade with my enchantment. Go to 3. Go ahead and play the planes out. Scoop it up. 5 wins and 1 loss up against Surume. Silver to silver. Alright, this hand's a little bit awkward, but I don't think I send it back. I could play the Machikos just to get it started. Oh no, here we go. Naturalist. Okay, they managed to hit a land drop off of the Spirited Companion. So, I'm going to play the Grafted Growth. Gonna counter on the Naturalist. Now I've got 2 mana available. In the interest of being mana efficient, I think I'll go ahead and play the Golden-tailed Disciple here. Swing in. If they've got a combat trick, so be it. Nope. Okay, they get the Likeness of the Seeker. Era of Enlightenment, so they might be a deck kind of like me. White-green enchantments. They bottom 2 cards. That's pretty good. So this turns into a 2/2 First Striker eventually. It looks like I've gotten the stronger enchantment deck start. Ooh, Roaring Earth. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, get that down. Then play a land. Counter on this Golden-tailed Disciple. Let's see, I've got 4 total mana. I think I'd rather double spell here. Bearer of Memory. Then Machikos. This turn I'm going to go ahead and get in with the Disciple. Yep, jump with the Doggo. Let's see, 1 more mana and I can actually activate the Bearer of Memory. Okay, Intercessor's Arrest. Can't attack, block, recruit vehicles, or activate abilities, etc. I am going to be able to activate the Bearer of Memory. Okay, I'm going to give the bonus to the Jukai Naturalist. Play this land. I counter on the Naturalist. And send him in. Okay, they scoop it up. Okay, 6-1. This next one could be the final game. Let's go. Up against Zydeco 1. We've been pared down to copper. That probably means you have a pretty good deck. I'm going to keep this. So, I think I go ahead and lead on the Visitor here. It's got the most upside if I draw, you know, the right stuff. Uncharted Haven for black. It's not a bad land. Multicolor. Let's see, I go ahead and commune. Let's see. I guess here I'll take the Grafted Growth. Play a Forest to keep the Tameo Safekeeping open. Okay, Life of Toshiro Umezawa. They're going to try to give my Visitor -1/-1. But turns out he has hexproof. Okay, there's the Naturalist. Unfortunately, I can't do Naturalist plus another play this turn. Is Naturalist still the correct play here? I think so. I think so. So both of these creatures are too big to die to the life of Toshiro Mizawa. Unless they have two of them. Nope, they gain 2 life. Play a forest. Network terminal. Okay, their mana is definitely flowing here. Another Naturalist. Oh, Lord. So yeah. Here's Grafted Growth. We'll just stick it on this land over here. Target this Visitor, because why not? Target this Naturalist, because why not? Just kind of spread out the threats here. Blue. So yeah, they have a lot of colors of mana available at the moment. Twisted Embrace, they're going to kill something. And they make their creature 1 point bigger. They kill the one that's handing out +1 counters. Makes sense. Okay. Well, that's definitely slowed me down a little bit here. So I think I play a Bearer of Memory. And I play this Samurai. I don't come in right now. I have 4 mana at the moment. I need 2 more to activate the Bearer. Okay, Geothermal Kami that can bounce the Twisted Embrace back to their hand, lets them kill another creature. So I might as well swing in with just about everything here. Okay, not everything. I don't want to let the Kappa Tech Wrecker come down like that. Let's see, and I'm 1 mana off of the Bearer of Memory, doing its thing. Well, I don't really need the mana reduction off the Naturalists anymore. I mean, I know you have a kill spell in your hand, I might as well attack you. Yeah, Kami blocks Samurai. Tech Wrecker blocks Naturalist. Sure. Golden-tailed Disciple. Here we go. Another Swamp. Twisted Embrace. They go for the Bearer. They're going for the long-term value engines. They're trying to play a very, very long game with me. I guess they're gonna get one. It's a neat combo with Geothermal Kami and Twisted Embrace. I don't know if I've actually seen that before. It's clever. It's very clever. Okay, Colossal Sky Turtle. It's big. It's definitely big. As long as they've got a blocker on the ground, they could come in with it. And I'm flooding out. So, they might get this one. They might have outvalued me. They turned on the Kami of Terrible Secrets. They just have everything. They do all of the things. It's a incredibly greedy multicolor deck, and it's working. They come in with the Sky Turtle. Another network terminal. Let's see. One and tap thing. They can actually do the thing right now where they can discard cards with the network terminal to rummage. I'm just flooding out. Just flooding out. No attacks. Let's see. I have not been through the Machiko's reigns yet. So that can give me some good surprise attack here. I go ahead and use the terminals. Discard a swamp. High-speed hover bike. Which would have been better on my turn, because I could have tapped something if I had an aggressive swing with my lifelinkers. There's actually no reason to tap something on their turn here. Yeah, I think they're being too aggressive here. Because I'm one good top deck away from sending a massive lifelinker at their face. Maybe that last card in their hand is exactly what they need. Maybe they are just finding everything they could ever want, while I just get lands. Seems to be the case. My opponent was not punished for that very questionable play. That was not going to block their Kami. You know, they made certain that I wasn't going to block their Kami there, but I was not going to block their Kami. They can swing for 12 here and I'm not going to block. In fact, they could play a creature and swing for 14 and I still wouldn't block. The only way I get back into this game is by top-decking something big and important, like Machiko's Reign of Truth. And I've got lifelink critters to make that useful. I've got 2 copies of Machiko's Reign of Truth. I have 23 cards left in my library. There are some other decent hits I could get, but the window's definitely closing. Top-decking these lands has just been incredibly painful. And now the opponent is deciding to gloat and play incredibly slowly. I mean, maybe they're having trouble deciding. Okay, they tap the high-speed hover bike to discard a forest. They come in with the turtle. 2 cards in hand, they say go, I get the Machiko's Reign of Truth. I just have to hope they have nothing. If this doesn't work, then I think we're toast, and I should just scoop it up. I guess I could draw another Machiko's next turn and double pump the Golden Tail Disciple. They let it through. Up to 17, okay. I feel like we might still be in this. Okay, they've got Fade into Antiquity for my Machikos. There's another Machikos in the deck, though. Right, so just because they've got the answer there doesn't mean that they're out of this. It's bad, obviously. It's bad for us, but they haven't necessarily turned the corner yet. Alright, the discard an island. Play a Papercraft Decoy. They've got 2 mana available if it dies. They swing with the Sky Turtle and a Kami. Let those through. I just have to top deck well. There's no other option. Season of Renewal counts. Okay, actually I think I take a Visitor Bearer. Okay, Visitor. Bearer. I get to put a counter on the Naturalist. They can actually double block the Naturalist, but I'm going to do this attack anyway to gain life. And I'm just going to kill their Memory of Toshiro. And I'm not going to kill their Papercraft Decoy. Gravelighter. Well, that is not ideal. I'm going to let the Visitor go. They paid their 2 on the Papercraft Decoy, so they don't have a lot of mana left. They've got 4. Play another Papercraft Decoy. They've got 2 available from the terminals. They attack, but it's only with the Sky Turtle. And I can get in with the Disciple here. Let's see, how much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Awkward. Definitely awkward. So let's see. I'm just dead in the air if I don't do something. So I need to attack with the Disciple here. It's awkward I didn't have 1 more mana. It would be nice to get this down tapped. I think I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm just dead here. The opponents played pretty well this game. I don't think they're going to miss lethal. No, they got it. As CGB might say, final boss. But I gotta say, hitting 6 wins, I'm very content to get to 6 wins. Not something that happens all the time in Limited. 850 gems would actually pay for another Quickdraft, right? It's 750 for a Quickdraft, or 5,000 gold. So I'm very content with this finish, but there's another 100 gems and a whole nother pack of cards if we can get the 7th win. Would be very nice. Up against Kanan. Cannon? Silver versus silver. I think I keep this hand. It's got an archer, if nothing else. I suppose if I had played the plains first, they wouldn't know I had a Tamiyo's safekeeping. Okay, Virus Beetle. I think I'll let go of the safekeeping, actually. Well, okay, I could let go of something else because of Season of Renewal. Yeah, sure. I'll drop off the Harmonious Emergence here. Archer. So the opponent's got black, white, white. They've played a Virus Beetle. They put Clawing Torment on this Bamboo Grove Archer. Let's see. It is unable to block, so it's just a liability at this point. They've played Reckoner Bankbuster, which Reckoner Bankbuster is just a fantastic card. I'm going to play a Golden Tail Disciple, 2/3 Lifelinker, can get some decent long-term play out of the lifelinker. Okiba Reckoner Raid. Does a couple of drains, then you get a 2/2 Menace. Gives your vehicles Menace as well. Okay, got Jukai Naturalist here. I don't have a follow-up play if I play the Naturalist, though. The opponent has mana open, but that could just be for the Bank Buster. They're not able to crew the Bank Buster yet. So, I'm going to play this Grafted Growth. Try to accelerate the mana for future turns. Get a counter on the Disciple. Yep, they're drawing a card. Alright. So they're at 19, I'm at 18. They've been doing some little life drain things. They do have an attack with the Beetle this turn. And they have a Black Ninja, maybe? Oh, it's the Discard Ninja. Interesting, interesting. Well, I think my hand is good enough that you can't really mess with it that much. You know, Season of Renewal, if you leave that in my hand, I'm just going to get back whatever you made me discard. Oh, you exile it. Okay, okay. That's fine. But their creature permanently gets worse. Okay, so I've got 4 mana here. Go ahead and play this Bamboo Grove Archer. Blocks their ninja just fine. And I play Machiko's Reign of Truth. On the Disciple. Yep, draw your card. Opponent goes down to 11, go up to 22. So their Bankbuster is going to have Menace from that Road Captain. Makes the Bankbuster much harder to block. Okay, Intercessor's Arrest on the Disciple. Virus Beetle. I'll let go of the safekeeping. Oh, they're being very aggressive here. That's very aggressive. Okay. So I've got the Harmonious Emergence down there. I guess I go ahead and get it. I'm not going to play out this land. They seem very fond of, like, discard, which is not that great in Limited. The Intercessor's Arrest is extremely annoying, though. They've managed to exile a creature and leave a couple of my creatures alive on the battlefield with auras, which is extremely annoying. Has been terrible for the Season of Renewal. Machiko's Reign is coming, though. I'm not out of threats quite yet. I've still got a decent-sized blocker. Not for their menace, but for other things I might want to come in with. I'll play a Golden Tail Disciple. We're crewing up the Buster, so we're going to try to be aggressive here. And just go ahead and block and kill their ninja. I mean, it's the archer's only job. It has defender. Okay, they do have a ninja here. It has lifelink. So the opponent has been very annoying. Go ahead and come in for 4. I've got a 4-5 and a 5-5 now. I mean, the Bank Buster is... it's been drawing them cards, it's been pressuring my life total. They've been managing to find a way. Sometimes it feels really unlucky. Okay, here's a Touch the Spirit Realm. They don't know I have another land in my hand, but it does take an enchantment off the battlefield for the portrait. Okay, play the Okiba Rekna Raid. They've been doing this little drain thing. And, you know, they've been bouncing stuff back to their hand with ninjutsu, so you're seeing the same cards over again. Okay, so play the Bearer of Memory. And say no attacks. Have to respect that the opponent's in a pretty advantageous position here. They can't run out of things that they need. They aren't even drawing with the Bank Buster at this point. They have all of the cards they could ever want and more. Just everything forever, in all cases. The end. Have to take the block. I'm just going to die to their drain effects otherwise. Finally take the last counter off the Bank Buster. And yeah, they've got it. They've got it. Let's see. What could I have done differently this game? I don't know. I think there are, like, better sequences that I could have had. I think I could have had, you know, a really explosive opening of, like, a one-drop with a counter into Machiko's Reign of Truth. Or, you know, one-drop... Hey, I wanted to view the battlefield. I didn't click done. Okay, well I could have had more aggressive openings, but the opponent just seemed like they managed to stay on the front foot the entire game somehow. They always had removal for my blockers. They just kind of kept me backpedaling. I feel like I could have stabilized the game many different times, but they always had another removal spell. But I did really well this time. I'm happy with 6 wins. So, I think this deck was good enough to go the distance and get 7 wins. Just through, you know, maybe a change of different play here or there, maybe a mulligan here or there. Could have gone a little bit differently, but overall I'm very happy with 6 wins. That more than paid for the draft. Generated a ton of gems. So, anyhow, not sure what my next video will be, but stay tuned. There's always something new coming up. Could be maybe a new standard deck. Anyway, like, subscribe. You can hit the notification bell if you wanna. And until next time, stay cool.